Over now to a farm where the scarecrow helps identify the farmer.
Confidentially, I like to talk confidentially.
Yes, you're right. It's that lovable North Country comedian Reg Dixon. For Reg is not the type to sit back and relax in between shows. In fact, he works so hard on the farm, it's small wonder he's always claiming to feel proper poorly.
But keep it dark.
I've just started the process of learning how farming in the UK works at a time when farming's changing anyway, but I'm trying. That's all. I wouldn't go around and say, I'm a farmer, because I'm not. Now Boris has done a deal with Australia, so we're getting Australian beef, and even if I raise a cow here, slaughter it 5 miles away in Long Compton, butcher it in Hook Norton and sell it in my farm shop, will be more expensive than the same piece of beef coming from Australia, because they're grain fed and ours are grass fed. So this cow, if he wants to have his carbon neutrality by 2050, I have a cow here, it doesn't move more than 5 miles before it ends up on the plate. And I know everybody wants cheap food, of course they do, but we can make cheap food here if they back off. We didn't have to jump through so many hoops. And it's very obvious that people who farmed here, whose fathers farmed the farms before them and their grandfathers before that, they do know what they're talking about, and they're pretty good. Nobody's poisoning watercourses and nobody's deliberately killing birds, well, unless they're pheasants, but you know what I mean, it's pretty well. And then you get these 8-year-olds in Whitehall who write the rules, and you think, how can you know more? I mean, my natural instinct when somebody presents me with a rule is to break it. I got that from school. It's just, I'm going to break it. I don't know how yet, but I'm going to. And I now feel like almost like I've been justified to break half of them, because they don't make any sense. I think Clarkson's farm explains some of the problems that farmers have, which is no money, the wrong weather, ridiculous levels of legislation, ridiculous. Well, food security, yeah. I mean, as I keep pointing out to people who say, why don't we just grow food abroad? Yeah, well, we did that in the 30s. And then the U-boats came along, so that went well.
Farmers all over up and down the country have to diversify because it's so hard to make any money now. They're not being able to. You've just given your example, why not? Is there a role for government here, and what do you want the government to do to help?
Well, yes, I think there is a role for the government. I think at the moment, farmers, as I understand it, and I am a trainee farmer, let's make no mistake about that, are allowed to change buildings that are smaller than 150 square metres, which is very, very small. But you know, they can turn them into, I don't know, garage workshops or gyms or something and rent them out to local companies, which provides employment, keeps the farm going, everybody's happy. I think it should be slightly larger. I think that farmers shouldn't be allowed to build solar farms or housing estates without proper local consultation, obviously. But I just think that the government should enable farmers to alter buildings of, say, 500 square metres without necessarily having to go to local planners who are inevitably swayed by people in the village who wear red trousers and, you know, make fools of themselves and object.
Midwife, a vet, an agronomist, a fortune teller, a businessman, a gambler, an entrepreneur, a mechanic. You have to be so many things to be a farmer.